What's going on back there, Bassin fans? All right, just to give you guys a little bit of an update, I tried uploading like several videos Thursday, Wednesday. I don't know if it's something with YouTube or what's going on. It will not let me upload it. It uploads all the way to YouTube, and then it just keeps saying processing. It will not go any farther. So I don't know what's going on. Hopefully this video will get uploaded and there won't be any issues. Like I said, I don't know what was actually going on, but I'll try to get this one uploaded. I know you're seeing out here, it's nice, it's pretty today. I'm actually going to try to get some fishing footage, but that will be for the next video. Got a lot going on this weekend, so just to get into today's video, we are actually going to go over some different brake settings and what to do with magnets in your reel. I'll go back up in the house and I'll kind of do it in there so you guys can get an up-close, good view of that reel and everything. And make sure if you guys are liking the content on these videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell over so you get notified when I'm putting out new videos. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's get onto the reel. Alright guys, so like I said before, we're going to talk about a little bit of your drag or your braking system and a couple differences in your braking system and how you can set it up so you can cast more efficiently and get more out of your reel. So first up is actually we're going to talk about this reel here. This is a quantum reel. It actually has a dual braking system, which it has a centrifugal braking system and then it has also a magnetic braking system. And I'll explain both of them here to you. First off the bat is going to be your centrifugal. So you can see here I've got this dial here. I can turn back and forth between 0 and 6. Okay, this is my centrifugal braking system. And what this is, and I know this is going to be extremely hard to see on this camera, but there's little pieces in here that actually when you throw this, what they do is they expand out. And what they expand out and do is they actually catch that brass ring inside there. This is really, really good for long distance casting. Not very good for just up close stuff that you're going to be starting up your reel with. Because what happens when you throw that reel and you really whip it hard and try to throw it hard, these actually expand out and catch that brass ring in there and slow it down pretty quick so you don't overdo your reel or your spool and spool up a big bird's nest. But you can tell when you're throwing it out long, if you've got just a reel that's just centrifugal, you'll notice the farther out it goes, you can really start to tell that spool will loosen up closer to the end of that cast. That is your first braking system. The second braking system is going to be your magnetic braking system. Now guys, this is one that most guys don't ever mess with and usually get a lot of complaints about reels that don't throw as good as their other reels. But what people don't understand, if you look in here, you know, I've got 5 magnets in here. And you can see on this very first one, there's a little red mark on there. What that is that red mark is saying that magnet is facing up, so it's pulling that spool. A lot of times when you get a new reel, there will be 2 or even if not 3 of these magnets faced up. And what that does is that creates way too much drag on your spool. So what you want to do, and typically what I do, is I will turn all of them down except one. That's going to be one of my loosest settings. I don't ever expect anybody to turn them all down because that'd be a mess. But like I said, just turn one up, leave the rest of them down, and try to adjust from there. All right, so we'll go from there. This is what your magnets are going for, this right here. So make sure you guys are keeping that wiped off. You don't want a bunch of oil on there, nothing like that. Just keep it clean, and those magnets will pull against that. Now I'll show you guys here another thing. While you have all this apart and you are adjusting this stuff, always make sure these bearings are good and clean and they move freely. There's nothing on them. Put, you know, just a single small drop of oil in there. That's all it needs. The same thing with this one here. You know, one little drop of oil, make sure it's clean. Get a Q-tip or something like that. Clean them out very well. You don't want dirt and grime in there or your reel's not going to last. I'm going to put this back together here real quick and I'll kind of show you guys a little bit. So, well, before we close this up, guys, on this setting right here, the centrifugal setting, I can tell you I usually keep this down to a 1. I keep a very free-flowing spool. I don't want any drag on there at all, so I keep that on a 1. That's typically where I go, and this is my punching setup, so I like to keep it very, very loose. Put this back on here. This outside dial, I know you guys can't see any numbers on there. It's been worn so many times. I usually keep this anywhere in between a 1 and a 4, depending on what weight I am actually throwing or punching with. Typically, I'm going to tell you 90% of the time, I'm usually on a 1 or 2. When I go up to that 2-ounce weight, that's when I'm going to hit that 3 and that 4 sometimes, just to keep it a little bit better, smoother pitching action. But another thing you guys want to look at too, and a lot of guys adjust these reels, and this is actually not the correct way to adjust these, is this tension knob right here. This tension knob is strictly to take the play out of this right here. If you've got a lot of play in there, let me take this apart here real quick. I actually closed my line in there. Alright, put that back. But I'm going to show you guys right here. This is how loose it is. It just spins really free with no problem at all. But a lot of times what guys do is they'll come in here and they'll tighten this thing down, and you can see it creates a lot of drag. And the other thing with this is once you tighten it down that tight, it's going to wear that little bushing out in there. It's going to wear that little pad out in there, and you're going to have to keep tightening it down just to get back to where you previously were. You don't want to adjust this with this knob that much at all. This is just to very, very fine tune that. Most of the time what I'll suggest doing, for me, like I said, I like a pretty loose spool. I will loosen this thing up till it's actually knocking back and forth. So you guys can hear that. So I'll tighten it down a little bit more to where it's just barely knocking. And then I'll go about a 1/4 turn more, and that's just about perfect. It's still loose enough. You can see it spins completely free. No issues at all. Guys, that's just a simple little deal to mess with there. Like I said, a lot of guys don't mess with those magnets. A lot of people don't know about those magnets and flipping those over and what that does to your actual spool. So after that, you can put a drop oil in here too. Make sure you keep that bearing in there, good to go. You don't want it getting all dry or anything like that. And guys, that's about it. If you have any other comments or anything, or need anything answered, definitely leave a comment down in the comment section. I will definitely get back to you. I'll answer you. You can PM me if you want anything else. I'm open for answering any questions. Just let me know. That's all I got for today, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks.